Just because you thought I was gonna steal and you went through all of that, I'm gonna make bitches steal now. I'm gonna allow bitches to steal. Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiana and I'm back to you with another video. As you can see by the title, I'm going to be telling you about one of my many retail horror story experiences. If you haven't checked out my last retail horror story experience, the time I worked at Justice, I'm going to be linking it down in the description box below. You should definitely check it out. It's kind of giving the same vibes this video is going to give. Today's video, I'm going to be telling you about the time I worked at Windsor. So if you don't know what Windsor is, it's a clothing store founded and based in Cali. They sell a lot of club wear for young women between 16 and 25. I say 16 because they also sell prom dresses, so they really do have a very big age demographic, and they sell to people who would probably buy from Fashion Nova, Charlotte Russe, Pretty Little Things. I worked at Windsor for 9 long months, and if you ask me, it was too damn long. Child, I went through a lot. They done put me through a lot. I don't even understand why I was doing all of that when I could have just gotten a grocery store cashier job. And I went through so much shit working with this damn company. So a little background story. I got put onto working at Windsor because the school that I was going to at the time had a job fair for the students who dormed so we can find jobs and sustain our college living. And I had gotten an interview with Windsor, and it was a group interview actually. So there was five of us. She was asking us a bunch of questions. She would ask a question and then she would ask all 5 of us individually how we would respond. And I got hired on the spot. I felt like a bad bitch when she hired me because I don't think anybody from that interview got hired. It was just me. So some of the pros of working at Windsor: I like to look my best. I like the fresh inventory of shipment we got every week. I like to dress and style all my customers and kind of give them inspiration on things to wear. And I also liked the store discount. You could not go wrong with 40% off. There was also a period of time, they were like, I think they call them extravaganzas, where I think it was like the beginning of certain seasons, like twice a year, 2, 3, 4 times a year, they would allow us to take things for 50% off. And what was so great about that was we got to come in early before any customers would come in the store, and we got to pick out what we wanted, and we got 50% off. So that was always fun. Now we gonna get on to the messy part, the part that y'all are here to see, and that is the many cons of working at this damn store, y'all. There was just so much going on in my life at this time, and this damn job was not helping. Windsor had a lot of annoying store policies. Their store policies were just dreadful. I don't understand why any company who wants people to continuously work for them for many years would establish such annoying store policies. For example, when you worked there, or when I worked there, you ain't worked there, I worked there. When I worked there, I had to bring an all clear bag. So they gave us like an all clear bag. This is a lot much cuter than the one that we got. And basically that was to make sure that they saw what was in your bag, which I think is very invasive if you ask me. When you left for your shift, the store manager or assistant store manager had to look in your bag. So I would be leaving the store and you could clearly see all the shit that I have in there. They still had to like take a peek at what was in the bag, even if it was your day off. If I were to go in on my day off talking about I'm gonna shop, they had to look inside my bag before I left, even if it's my day off, which I thought was crazy. There's a girl that worked there as well, and she was going through something with her at-home situation that was beyond her control. So when she came to work, she had to bring it wasn't a big bag, but she had to bring some other bag because she wasn't always going straight home and she was out for the day. And the store manager was not having it. Like, she ended up getting written up because she wasn't wearing the clear bag. I get that you don't want theft in your company, but you're treating your employees like they're ex-felons. Just because you thought I was gonna steal and you went through all of that, I'm gonna make bitches steal now. I'm gonna allow bitches to steal. And my biggest issue with the clear bag was the fact that I had to take public transportation. Me and like 2 other girls had to take public transportation, and we would get off at like 10 o'clock. We're taking the bus, we're walking home somewhat, and we got this all clear bag. We're females, like, hello, like, red flag, red flag. Like, they did not give a fuck though. We had to wear that shit. Imagine it's your time of the month and you got tampons peekabooing through your bag. And another thing is, they were very, very strict on where you were zoned. There was the front zone, which is people that greet, and then sometimes if we had a lot of people on staff, we would have another zone in the front by the cash register. So front zone in the very, very front where the shoes are and everything, and then the mid front zone by the cash register. You know, you had your cash register, and then you had the back zone past the cash register, and then you had the fitting room. You had to stay in that spot, and it kind of puts you in like a tough position when you think about it, because they wanted us to build an outfit. So when we greeted a customer and she said, hey, I want an outfit to go to this concert, and the front only has certain kind of tops, and you know that they have a bottom in the back, you know, you kind of want to be consistent and go to the back. But then if the manager saw you in the back, she's gonna be like, well, why are you not in the front? The way that they wanted you to kind of do one thing and then do the other thing, and if they conflicted, you would still, you know, get caught up. Like, you see what I'm saying? They also had this stupid ass rule in place that if we were in like a peak season, such as prom, because remember I told you they sell dresses and stuff, if we were around the New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving kind of season, you had blackout periods. And these blackout periods were basically 2 to 3, maybe even a month time where you were not allowed to take off of work. The very fact that you're telling your employees that it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, it's New Year's, you cannot take off to see your family, you cannot take off to go out of town for a day because we need you and we're extra busy. It was just bizarre to me. It still is bizarre to me. It's very invasive. It just be the audacity for me. If I was a store manager or an assistant store manager or some kind of lead, maybe I can understand because they have bigger ties to the company, but I was an entry-level ass store associate. A lot of times when my friends were going back home for holidays, I had to stay there because there were blackout periods. And looking back at it, I probably should have fought harder for myself, because who were they to really tell me anything? They held us accountable for anybody that stole. And going into what I was talking about, the zones, is if they found sensors in your zone, you were deemed responsible for that loss, I guess. The technical term is called shrink. If you don't know what shrinkage is, basically that percentage of revenue that they lost due to theft. And I understand that shit adds up, but in all honesty, it wasn't a mom and pop shop. They had several stores across the country. It was not that serious, but these motherfuckers made it so that we as the store associates were supposed to be trained on how to stop theft, which is unrealistic if you ask me. The whole thing was just unrealistic. In reality, most jobs that you go to, they're gonna tell you not to directly confront the thief because safety reasons. And that was the same thing that went for this job. We weren't allowed to directly confront the person if we saw them steal. If anything, we had to passive aggressively like follow them around and shit. So if I seen you put this, let's say this is like a bralette or something, if I seen you put this in your bag, I now have to follow you around the store. But obviously I can't make it obvious that I'm following you around the store, so you put it in your bag up here and you go down there. I have to follow you down there. I have to fold the clothes down there and act like I'm doing my own thing. So I have to, it's either you do that or you can directly confront the customer.
Hey, do you want a bralette for that shirt?
And they'll be like,
oh shit, like, she know I stole.
And you can't directly penalize them. You can't ban them from the store. You kind of have to do that to make them feel uncomfortable to dump whatever they try to steal and leave. And not everybody could do that. Not everybody could do that. Not everybody is swift and slick and good with their words so that they can let somebody know something without directly letting them know. And on top of that, we still had to be store associates. We still had to stay in our zones. We still had to sell clothes. We still had to keep the store neat. On top of that, I have to follow around somebody in the store for a fucking bralette. Like, it just did not make any sense to me then. It doesn't make any sense to me now. I just think that was just so unrealistic and unfair. My checks were ass. Okay, that was like another blow, hard blow, was the fact that my checks were ass. I was getting paid bi-weekly, and every week, every 2 weeks, I would probably make like on average like $350. On average $350 every 2 weeks, because like I said, I was making minimum wage. Just all I was doing, all this shit for minimum wage. The most I ever made in a check was like $450. And that was because that was during the holiday seasons. We had to put in a lot of hours. Besides that, I was making nothing, pennies, peanuts. And that was really fucking me up because I was a broke college student with terrible money management skills. There were parties every week, y'all. There was a party every week. I smoked weed like every day. I got bottles like every weekend. So I had to budget $350 in a 2-week period. On top of that, I had to pay for a MetroCard to get to and from work. It was just so bad. And they, you know, with retail, they kind of use you for what you're worth and then they put you back on the shelf. So even if Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's came along, once it started to die down, they would start to give you your little mediocre hours again. And that store had favorites. They had favorites. They had the store manager, the assistant store manager. Then you had the two baby faces that kind of was good at making the sales. And then you had the in-betweeners. I was definitely an in-betweener because, like I said, I really did not give a fuck about that job. I just wanted to make the little monies that I was making and look cute and get out. Their clothes was very, very overpriced for what it was worth. The quality of some of their clothes were just not it. There were things that were in the store for a few days that's probably been tried on that would start to rip. And it just was annoying because a lot of times I would see customers be willing to buy some of the things that we sold, but then when they saw the price, they were like, I'm not paying $42 for this shirt. I'm not paying $50 something for this dress when the sequins is about to fall off. Like, they were very, very overpriced. They weren't the most expensive store, but they weren't reasonably priced with some of the things that they sold. I think their jeans were of okay quality where I could see somebody paying the money for the jeans, but a lot of their shirts, a lot of their little coats and shit, it was just not worth the money. I feel like everything there should have been at least $10 cheaper. And it reflected on how a lot of us made sales. It wasn't the fact that the clothes weren't cute, but it was the fact that it were teenage girls most of the time. Girls just like me that was as broke as me trying to make something out of nothing, and you go in a store and everything is overpriced. I knew for a fact if I wasn't getting 30% off, I wouldn't buy none of the shit there neither, to be honest. And even with the 30% off, some of the shit was still overpriced. So that just gives you an idea of what I had to go through. They were not plus size friendly, y'all. They were not plus size friendly. I could not shop as often as I wanted to. I could not get a lot of things off the rack. I remember several times where we would get new things and it would come in large or extra large, and I would try it on and the shit didn't fit or it just didn't fit right. And I just felt shitty about myself. I felt shitty about my body. It kind of made me feel a little insecure, the fact that I couldn't wear whatever I wanted here. I couldn't buy a lot of shirts there. I couldn't buy a lot of dresses there. I think over time I have like one pair of jeans from them and like a bodysuit and like one dress. I was not able to cash out the way the rest of the girls were. I think I was the only plus size girl there. Yeah, I was like the only plus size girl that stayed there. There was another plus size girl that was there for a few months. She was just there for the holiday season and she dipped. But me being plus sized and me being in such a weird sizing bracket where I'm usually the largest size in your regular smalls to mediums and larges, and then I was the smallest sizes in your extra large, extra large, extra large. So it put me in a very tough position because I could never find my size. If I did find my size, it was probably sold out in a second. And even when I got plus size girls coming into the store, it just sucked seeing that their whole spirit was crushed. Well, their spirit wasn't crushed, but it sucked seeing them try on things that they liked and it didn't fit them. It wasn't cut to flatter them. And in my opinion, I feel like if as a store, if you can go out of your way to make extra smalls and extra smalls, you can make a way to make extra larges, in my opinion. Because what it's showing is that you're able to cater to people that are a little smaller than the average, but you're not able to cater to those who are a little bit bigger than the average. I would try to live through some of my customers. I would suggest them to wear some of the things that I would want to wear, and it would look good as fuck on them. And you know, it was a little satisfying seeing that happen. But the fact that I missed out on so many good 30% off deals because these motherfuckers didn't want to cater to curvy girls is shitty. And even if you do look on their website now, they have a plus size section, but it's only one size fits all stuff. It's not a specific section for bigger girls, and it kind of shows you the demographic that they're catering to. And in 2020, I mean, I worked there in 2016, but even then there were like plus size clothing wasn't a nuisance. Like, you knew what it was, you knew why it was there. You know, by then Forever 21 had plus size clothing. So the fact that they never caught on to that kind of hype, it was just like, I really didn't belong there. Like, I really felt like I did not belong there. If you enjoyed this video today, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Let me know how you feel about retail jobs. Let me know if you have any retail jobs that relate to the things that I went through in mine. I really appreciate you guys making it to the end of this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.